The following testimony was shared with us by our brother Barry McDonald at the Pages in the Garden restaurant at Hope Gardens on March 26. Let's join Barry now as he shares his testimony with us.
I have a son and a grandchild, and hopefully more grandchildren to come. And I don't know if I should say this, but I'm a member of a church, and I'm scared to say the name because it's called the Ark. There's something about that name I don't know, that don't resonate too good in Jamaica, but I go to the Ark Fellowship in Houston, Texas.
Your Excellency.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Yes. I liken myself to that guy in the Bible who left his father's care, went to a far land, and tried to live his own life. I think it's called the prodigal son. I liken my life to that gentleman. You see, I became a Christian back in 1974 at that very illustrious institution on the North Street, the one with the purple fence. And well, if it's a prep school, it's the best prep school in the nation. And
Can't help himself.
so I became a born again Christian at Kingston College. Went through KC, and after leaving KC, joined my family.
Born in purple shirt.
Fortis, brother, Fortis. Joined my family firm of Montrose Printery. I don't know if I guess most of us here who are of age, maybe it's young man, yes. Remember that on Hagley Park Road, Almond Town and then Hagley Park Road. So I joined the family firm and was sent to London, England in the early 80s to study the industry. Of course, being sent to such a first world nation as a youngster always leads to a life that might not be in line with the Lord. And I was there for 3 years living like a heathen, and came back home, joined the firm, and held various positions in the company. And Sam and Howard, and of course Earl, who I know, would remember back in the 90s, the 80s, 90s, they were turbulent economic times. I mean, running a manufacturing business was not a healthy, thing to be doing. I mean, many of us have had heart attacks and lost businesses, and it was very rough with interest rates never seen before. And this was that I was thrown into. And thank God that at that time I had the opportunity to meet men in Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship. That was a saving grace for me, because the stresses were real and great. And because of Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship, I was able to make it through. With stalwarts such as I said, Earl, Howard, and Colonel Dougie and Colonel Nestor Ogilvy of the JDF, who I understand is still
he's on the island now.
He's on the stage.
Oh, he's on the stage. Yes, and it gave me opportunity to see men of like-mindedness, you know, sharing their testimonies, and it was very powerful for me. And we had the opportunity to travel out of the country and meet other men in other countries with that same testimony of what Christ had done for them. And I thank you, gentlemen. I really thank you for that. You don't know how much influence that had on my life, and especially Earl. I used to go to Earl's house. I don't even think he remembers. I never even remember who Barry McDonald was. I guess when he saw me.
Not with the mask.
But yes, that's after the mask. Anyway, we decided to come out of that business in '94. And in fact, I was the one who decided that, look, I can't take over that institution from my father, because I saw what that did to my father, many heart attacks and everything. And anyway, we came out of business. God was good, we prayed about it, and it was the quickest wrap-up of a business that I'd never seen. And so I knew it was God, because the day we made the announcement that we were closing, it was within a month we had all 60-something staff in jobs in other printing establishments, top jobs, some of them. Building was sold, equipment was sold, and I have never regretted it. And my dad never regretted it either. We would say, boy, you know, back in Houston, we would sit around and I'd ask him, Dad, you think we made that right decision? You miss it? And he said, listen, anytime I start missing it, all I have to do is think about a Friday evening. And I said, that's it. Right? And because of that, I believe my dad had 20 more years onto his life. Because, and I will want to go into the story, but had we not done what we did, my dad would not have made it to 60 years old. He passed away at the age of 80 in November. But I moved to Houston. I joined my wife at the time and my son, who I'd sent ahead. And God again, although I wasn't really walking with the Lord at the time, but God had blessed me a new career in healthcare and making good money. And you know, sometimes when you make good money, you tend not to acknowledge the one who gave you that strength to make that money. And just going again, I don't want to be going on, but many miracles happened in our lives there. But also, I think my eyes kind of shifted off of the Lord. And marriage caved in. And I don't know if this is why I say sometimes my life, when I reflect back and I remember the message of that prodigal son who went his own way. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. We choose to go our own way and we mess things up. But praise God, God is still faithful. Many times I've been through health challenges and God has brought me out. I remember several years ago, I was on a flight, an international flight from Europe, US, and on return home and to work, I just started to feel very strange and funny. Could not breathe. Fortunately, I was in the healthcare business, so I was near to a hospital They knew me and they wheeled me in. Found out that I had bilateral pulmonary embolism. Something that could just take you out right away. But thank God, God brought me through that. He has brought me through so many illnesses. Yet still, I was not walking with the Lord. 2 years ago, I decided at 60 years of age, a light bulb went off in my head like that. And I said, you know, I've known the Lord so long. I know I'm not living right. Wasn't going to church. And I believe the Lord had been speaking to me. That quiet, still voice. Look, you have done it your way. Let me do it. And I said, boy, God, I want to. But it was very difficult. And little by little, the Lord drew me back. And praise God, I'm back in the church, involved in the church, and my life has been absolutely wonderful. You know, when you're outside of your Father's presence, sometimes you don't know what you're missing. And like that prodigal son who went off to a far land and did his own thing his way, lost everything, and he realized, man, this is not any way to live. My Father has everything there for me, but then he said, you know, I'm not even don't want to be his son anymore, because I don't think he's gonna accept me back, because I've been such a horrible person. Let me go back to him and even say, take me as a hired servant. And at that moment when he made that decision, his father knew he made that decision. His father was far away, because in the scriptures it says that his father saw him far off. I believe when it says far off, I believe it was in a sense in the spiritual realm. He made that decision. The father knew he made that decision. And it says his father ran to meet him. You notice the son didn't run to meet the father. I did not run to meet the father. The father ran to his son and fell upon his neck and kissed him. And many of us have been in that situation where we have known the Lord and we have gone away from the Lord. And this is, boy, I'm telling you, this is a time. If there's ever any time that we need to get serious about the Lord, this is a time. Let us acknowledge the Lord for his goodness that he has done for us. And I just encourage you, gentlemen, just keep this Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship thing going and alive. I did not realize it was still in operation. I thought that people had gone on and but thank God this institution is still here. It's a powerful avenue. And I just encourage you to bring your friends, bring your family, so that because you know, as someone said a while ago, this might be the only opportunity that you can tell them about the Lord. And so thank you for having me here. I hope to, and I pray that I can come back and join in the fellowship and enjoy the fellowship that I've so long missed for 30 years.
Thank you very much, Barry. Wonderful, encouraging words at a time like this.